I think there's a couple interesting things, but the main thing too is this issue about that people are talking about, and they have the right, but they have the right to set the rules of the road. They don't have the right to be inconsistent, and this is basically one of Eminem best points on this. That where it's very insightful that they could just take something that a nude sketch of a woman that is definitely not profane, and they could mark that. They could say mature audiences only or anything like that. But then to do that, they would have to be consistent and mark Sports Illustrated the same way, and have to be consistent, and that would interfere. So they find it easier just to kick the people off that violate these alleged rules for non-profit reasons, as so they can allow those doing them for reasons of profit to continue. And this is the thing that's really unacceptable. People say they could have whatever standards they want, and I believe that. I believe basically they just have to have consistent standards. And they cannot give free speech to corporations in order for them to sell in whatever means they want, and not give free speech to individuals who actually have a right to free speech. That's not acceptable result to me. You could say, oh, but fine. Well, I'm sorry, property rights don't beat human rights in my book. I think property right is a human right. And if you take property right, you're violating a human right. But if you're taking some other right in the name of property rights, then you're going to have to figure out what the fuck you think you're doing. Okay. Now, the other issue is that of critical mass and community. And one reason we need to have rules like this, regulations, is because this conversation has to go on where there are people. And so, yeah, we're going to have private enterprises serving that purpose along with their purpose of making a profit. But the end result has to be that a freedom of speech emerges from all of our social policies. And if you want to have a wildly, dominantly private communication system, like where things like YouTube are always private because there is no government one, then you better make sure that they forward our rights. Because you can always say, oh, you could go somewhere else, but I can't. Now, if you want our government to start a network for public debate where our free speech is protected, I will go there. I won't even care how good the features are. As long as it works, I'll use it. And so would a lot of people. And you might find that the private platforms fall away and don't want to compete with the government organization, which means fine. Make sure that your private organizations are going to adhere to our rights. They're not going to violate, and they're going to, in fact, promote the Bill of Rights. And if not, you say, oh, we don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. And we don't have to let you run our infrastructure either.